All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, I'm Brother Brian right here on KIEZ 106.7 FM, the voice of the community. Hey, today is an exciting day for me and you. Got a couple of events that are going to take place, and as we focus on generational wealth, I want to say to my good friend Ron, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing great, sir. How about you?
I have no complaints. Ron, you are a brand in this community. Everybody, when they think of construction, well, in my people that I chat with, they think of construction, they associate Ron Calhoun. It's like when you hear Nike, McDonald's, Ron Calhoun is a brand. So, hey, I appreciate you reaching out, jumping online with me so we can educate our community because before we got started, man, you were dropping a lot of gems with me. So I want to break it down to the family, share with the family what it is that you do. What is your profession?
Well, I grew up in residential construction with my family. Like I said, all my uncles and my dad and everybody were, saying we're in the construction business. So same thing. I went to college, came back, got into the construction game. I also got into the mortgage game. So I've been in this since 1997 when I started my own business. So from residential construction to commercial construction, as well as the mortgage part. And then also we have created a nonprofit to go out and help develop housing in the community and the surrounding communities.
Okay. I want to break that down a little bit. Now, we're not talking about just a handy man or someone that's in the industry. We're talking about from the laying the ground roots of building a home from the first stud all the way up to its finish. We're talking about a turnkey operation. So, and I've seen some of your houses you built. They're like beautiful things that I see in the big city. So, I definitely want to commend you on that. But
Appreciate
you're
it.
into construction. You're also into you also do rehabbing as well. Is that fair to
Correct.
say?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about home ownership because there's a program that we're going to, well, an actual expo that's going to take place in this city of Monroe, and it's titled Home in Monroe. And it's not the first. You've been to the one of the first ones, and now this is another one that's taking place right here in Monroe. Tell us a little bit about what we should expect from the Home in Monroe.
Yeah. This is our the second one that I've been involved in. We had one back in January, which was kind of limited because of the COVID situation. So this time it's going to be a all out, full-fledged expo. We're going to have different lenders from around the state. We even have some people coming out of New Orleans. We have the local banks. And then also we have other developers that the city of Monroe has established here locally, as well as we have a group coming out of California, Choosing Independence, who I've partnered with, getting ready to do a 38 house subdivision over on Plum Street, on the Plum Street area.
Oh, wow.
Plus I have properties going over by the college and in the Sherrouse area. So what we're trying to do is focus on getting our people, instead of renting housing, to commit to actually buying and purchasing homes. So the city of Monroe and my nonprofit that we have, Ohio Community Development, we're basically trying to get people in regards to approve. So we're in the process of getting certified as housing counselors. So that part comes where we prepare them from the credit to creating and giving them the knowledge of understanding housing, home ownership, and then get them to the point where they can go to a lender and actually purchase a home, and then create the home ownership.
And one of the major benefits, as we were talking about earlier, is definitely about generational wealth. We're not talking about the first generation providing income. We're talking about generational, from this generation to the next generation to the next. This is one of the basic fundamentals of developing wealth in any community. But
Yes.
we need to really embrace that theory. And even though you've been doing it such a long time, and you you definitely know each and every step and each and every phase, I want to really break it down to, because this is a dream. And so I like say, like President Obama said, yes, we can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, because I mean, this is reality. I'm talking
Yep.
about actually being part of a community, paying taxes. When I pay taxes, it helps the streets, it helps the water, the public, a quality of life. We're talking about actual generational wealth from my seed seed, and on and on and on. Because when you have a home that is paid off or almost paid off, I could become the bank because its equity is
Yeah,
built in.
correct.
Then I can take my lovely wife to on a nice vacation, just borrow down on that, or purchase her a new car, or send the kids or grandkids to college. But I mean, we can leverage our current position. So I want to break that down. When we're talking about what you do, you can actually start from the naked dirt and go all the way up to the airspace and build as big and as large as an individual actually desires based upon their financial responsibility. Now,
Correct.
you're talking about you actually, I look at you as a turnkey because you're talking about building. You're also talking about setting individuals up to put them in a space where they can purchase. Let's talk about a little bit about the ability to purchase because you're in the mortgage industry. Now, I don't see a
Yes.
lot of people that look like you and I that actually are in the mortgage industry.
Yeah, I thank God for that. I got into the mortgage business. I went to work for Chase after I graduated. I think about 2 years after I graduated. I was actually in aviation working for American Airlines and didn't want to transfer at that time and went to work here locally at Chase and answered the telephone, customer service. And a year later, I started a mortgage company, became a mortgage broker. Just had never done it. You know what I'm saying? You know how God just leads you into certain things. So a year later, I started the mortgage company and I started financing houses, no money down for people with bad credit, foreclosure. So back then we had the subprime financing. So it didn't matter, you know, if the credit was tore from the floor up, we was able to put you in the house, no money down. And so that was the market that that was my niche market that I focused on. And I started building houses over in the River Oaks area, Cypress Point, Lammy Lane, you know, putting our people in those type of homes. Now, trust me, back then, I was a rarity. So I had the good old boys came at me and said, well, because I'm putting so many people of our color into the north side of Monroe, my line of credit was cut off. So because at that time, they felt threatened because, you know, at the time then I had about 10 houses going at one time, had over $1 million. I was 29 years old. So, so the bank actually told me, so Ron, you know the story of Job? I said, yeah. He said, you remember how God allowed him to be tested? I said, yeah. He said, well, Ron, they're testing you. I said, who? So they cut off the line of credit. But I look at that now as a learning experience in regards to where I'm at 20 years or 30 years later, in regards to the space that we're in. Back then, I was just only dealing with local banks. Now, God has blessed me to get to the point where I have federal money, I have outside private money, as well as private lenders, as well as money from Washington, D.C. So the market that we're tapping into now is to help the south side of Monroe in regards to home ownership. And you alluded to that earlier. So what we're trying to do now, and that was the purpose of setting up the nonprofit, because as a for-profit, you can only get so much money from private banks or private lenders. To really tap into the federal government money, you have to come in as a nonprofit. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
correct. So now, I mean, you have to look on the south side of Monroe now, and I got to call out the names. You look at Mount Pleasant CDC, you can look at Standard Enterprise. What they have done, Standard Enterprise is a for-profit organization. Mm-hmm. Mount Pleasant CDC is a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. So what the for-profit does, they partner with that nonprofit to get extra credit points from the state as well as from the federal government to go in and tap in to get these federal funds. Now, nationwide, these federal funds are all designated for low-income areas. So in 1988, when or the late 80s, when President Reagan was in office, Reagan is the one that set up what is called tax credits. These tax credits are basically for rich companies or rich individuals to invest money into low-income areas. And then they get a tax write-off. So as you stated earlier, there's not many people of our color that is actually in this game, this space in regards to the tax credit. It's a very lucrative business, but it's very expensive to get in as well as you got to know the paperwork and understand the paperwork in the game. So these guys, Standard Enterprise, have been doing it for ages, you know, since the late 60s and early 70s. And these cats are all over the country doing these tax credit developments. And once again, these are tax credits are only designated for low-income Black areas. So what this does, it creates a big, I would say, population of rental housing, as you and I was discussing earlier.
Mhm.
Inside the city limits of Monroe, there's 60% of the housing supply. Over 60% is all rentals. That is crazy for a population of what Monroe is 50 to 60,000.
Right.
So you look at what are 40,000 houses, at least 40,000 are all rentals. Now,
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
not
I want to make a point on that when you because you brought that up for a specific reason. And once again, I know you know the real estate industry back and forth, but those who don't know what he's doing, he's comparing it to other progressive cities where it's the reverse of that. In those cities, it's a bigger population of home ownership versus here in Monroe, it's a bigger population of rentals. And
correct.
that's why we're having those challenges because the fewer people are actually getting into the uh, uh, home ownership stream of wealth. And that's why Ron is bringing that up. He's really hitting home about these points on building wealth. We got it because it's clear to say you're a numbers man because you just set the metrics up. You know the metrics, and I'm hearing you clearly. You're right. But go ahead, continue, please.
Yeah. So what happens is now most of our people, and like you and I was stating earlier, when I came along, like I said, I'm 51. My parents first started out, they had what was called the HUD 235 house. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And in the 60s and 70s, they were creating home ownership. So now we have a generation that's behind us as well as with us. They're satisfied with actually renting a house. They look at it from the standpoint, oh, we got a new house because it's a rental. And then, so that mindset of our people has changed over time and over years, and they're comfortable with renting. And I think it's another aspect of it is a lot of people don't want the responsibility or the upkeep of a home. And then and what I've seen over the years too is a lot of them just believe they cannot afford or buy a house. Because once again, I believe a lot of our people are intimidated, and you're in the mortgage business, when they go in to sit down across from the banker that does not look like them, or they don't know the process, because you got to think about it. In college as well as high school, nobody's taught about finances. Nobody's taught about credit.
Go ahead, you preaching right? Now. Go ahead. That's right.
So with that, we don't really understand it. So then we think, well, man, I can't. My credit score, I can't. I got a 580 credit score. I can't get a house. That is not true. So even back 20 years ago, when I was doing subprime, you could still get a house. I mean, if you had a previous foreclosure, previous bankruptcy. Even now, today, I have a lender that's going to be there on the 23rd. They have a 580 credit score program. One day out of bankruptcy, you can still get 100% financing.
Whoa, that's heavy. People don't really understand that. That is powerful. That is very powerful. Well, I know you mentioning these dates and you mentioning the nonprofit. Introduce us to the name of the nonprofit, how to get in contact with you, because even though right now we're just shooting out some gems to the people that actually will actually catch it, but how do they sit down and really sit down with a consultation with you?
They can reach out to me. They can give me a call, 318-953-96 318-953-9698. That's my cell number. That's the best way to catch me. Send me a text.
Whoa. Okay. Giving out the cell number. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to get in contact with me. And I tell everybody, you got Yahoo Messenger, Facebook. But yeah, that's the cell number. They can text me. Make sure you text me because a lot of calls come through as spam. I don't answer.
That's right.
I don't answer.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with them reaching out to me on the cell phone. Like I said, I'm moving. I'm hardly in the office anyway because I'm out on the projects and then moving from place to place. So that's the best way to reach out to me. Or they can send an email, rk06@yahoo.com. So that's the best way to get in touch with me.
Okay, and also Saturday, April the 23rd, the expo starts at 10 a.m.
Yes,
and so
the
you'll
expo
be there
is
as
going to
well.
start at 10 a.m. And this time around, the city is actually going to set up each developer in separate rooms over there in the conference room. So I don't know how they're going to split it up, where the attendees will be able to come in and each developer will be able to make presentations. So, you know, you got developers here in town that's going to present their house plans. They're going to present the jobs they've done. Same thing like the guys that I'm partnered with, Choosing Independence. They're going to have, they'll present their program, because they're actually putting some other social services with the development that they're doing. And the homes that we're doing for their development, as well as what I'm doing, they're going to be, like I said, we're planning on doing stucco homes, making them very nice. Not what you see, no shade given. Not what you see on the rental housing game with Standard Enterprise and the other organizations. But we're trying to do some newer, modern type homes where people, you know, saying be proud of the house that they're living in. So, you know, my thing is, you know, we're Black people. We love nice, flashy type stuff. You know, reality is reality. And so that's what we're trying to do inside the homes, the designs that we're doing to make the neighborhood, you know, the people be proud of the neighborhood, proud of the house that they live in. And that's my motto. I said, if a person is proud of the home that they see and it catches their eye, they're going to take care of that house. So then, like was going back to the home ownership, the only way we can start changing the neighborhoods and try to, you know, fight out or eliminate some of the crime that's going on, we have to get back to home ownership. As we start doing a block at a time, it's going to create home ownership, and then we're going to push out all the bad. You know what I'm saying? Then now, because like I said, you're not going to let a person come and throw trash in your yard. You're not going to let your house just fall apart or be dilapidated. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to focus on and create.
Okay, man, you dropped a lot, and I can see your passion and your desire, your love for actually what you do for your craft. I commend you on that. Now, we mentioned earlier about the fear factor of when individuals are considered purchasing or buying a home. They're hearing so much during 2020 about interest rates are low, now they're increasing. Also hear things about the inventory demand and inventory shortage. But with what you do, you actually control the inventory by building it from the ground up. Now, give me the breakdown from when you build it to set up the financing to the actual receive the key. So you're not a realtor, are you? Or how does that work out?
No, what we've done, we've partnered with a realtor as well as real estate company. It's a local guy, Carlos Jackson. He's been a realtor for like 7 or 8 years. He used to be with Gladys Smith. Carlos just started his company, Jackson and Associates. So we're partnered with him. So all those properties on Plum Street, he'll actually list those properties. And this is let me throw this in here too. Right now, on the south side of Monroe, nothing has been built or sold in over 50 or 60 years.
Hold on, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
Okay, so what that means is, right now, a house can only appraise value at $45 to $50 a square foot. Okay. What we're going to do on Plum Street, the first 4 houses that we're going to actually build there, we're going to actually owner finance. The purpose of us owner financing those houses, as well as listing those sales into the MLS, the multi-listing that the realtors use, as well as what the appraisers use. We're going to list those 3 or 4 houses in that system at $135 or $140, you know, in regards to $1 per square foot. Remember what I just said? Right now, you can only get $40 to $50, $45 to $50 a square foot on the south side for appraisal value. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing with that 38 house subdivision, we're creating a new market for the south side of Monroe. Now, what does this mean? Once we start selling properties, those people that own property on the south side of Monroe, their value is going to start increasing. It's going to start appreciating value. So now the equity, as you mentioned earlier, now the equity is going to go from, if they have a house that's only valued at $50,000, it's going to jump to $75,000 to $80,000. And you mentioned about generational wealth. What this does now? Now, if that house is paid off, you can turn around and go back to the bank and say, hey, I'm interested in starting a business. I want to refinance my house. Now you can get more equity out of your home. So this is why we say it is very important for people to own the house, not just rent. The rental only helps the person that's the landlord that owns the house. So what we're trying to do now is go back to the south side of Monroe, redevelop, bring up property values, creating equity across the board for everybody. And then everybody wins.
Man, that's I may even come over there and put an application at your job. Man, you all are changing the community right before our eyes. That is So Saturday, April the 23rd, we can actually see you face to face. The Housing Expo starts at 10 a.m. And man, you dropping so many gems. Tell you what, I appreciate you reaching out to. I'm sorry, I reached out to you. You responded instantly. So hey, he's giving you his cell phone number. He does respond. Text, call, whatever it is, he does respond. I'm telling you now because he didn't know who I was, so he definitely responds. Now, we talked about home ownership. What about first-time buyers? And you also mentioned a little bit about second chances. Are you still able to help people in those markets as well?
Yeah, you say in regards to people that for second chance, people that had the previous bad credit?
Yes, sir.
Listen, I tell everybody, credit is a game. This whole system that we live in is a game. Once you learn the game, it's not a problem. We help with credit repair. And like I said, I had started doing the credit repair here locally, but now because I have so many other irons in the fire and so many other projects going on, I have a company that can help with credit repair. But part of our training that we've been involved in through the nonprofit, partnering with the city of Monroe, housing counseling, that's what we're actually we'll be doing, helping and assisting people get their credit straight. So tell them, please. And I think that's one of the biggest fears that most people have is the credit. And I tell everybody, I said, you got to shoot me straight. I said, and I tell everybody, go to Experian, download that app on Experian. Don't go off Credit Karma and Credit Sesame and all these other sites. Download Experian, see what the credit score is. Your local banks, they want 640 and above. As I mentioned, I have a lender that's going to be in town on April 23rd. They have a 580 credit score, 100% financing program. So, like I said, if they have any questions in regards to credit, what I need to do to my credit, they need to get with us, get inside the class, get registered with the city of Monroe for the first-time home buyers class. And in that class, we're going to assist with getting their credit straight so they can get financing. So, of course, everybody's not going to come through. When they join, they might not have the credit per se, the credit score at that time, but within 6 months, we can help you build credit. In 6 months, we can get stuff taken off your credit report. So right. Once again, and that's what I realized, myself down the road. And, like I said, in high school and college, they don't teach us about credit. But the information is out here now. So tell them that, and that fear right there, God's told us that we're not supposed to fear anything but him. So please don't let credit stop you from coming out, applying for a house, and then come to the seminar, because the other part of the seminar is this, the expo, the city has money, down payment and closing cost money for those that qualify.
I need a house.
The matter of fact, Miss Hill, that's over community development, she's upped the amount to $60,000 down payment assistance.
So this thing is Saturday, April 23rd, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Monroe Convention Center. Up to $60,000. Definitely have to give Ms. Hill positive recognition, who's over the planning and urban development. She had a vision. She's actually brought it to Monroe. Had a few hiccups, and as you said earlier, the COVID-19 stalled it a little bit, but hey, we're still moving forward, getting great people like you that are knowledgeable, a face in the community, a name in the community. At a minimum, come to the expo, sit down, get your questions answered, and the main thing I've heard today, Ron, is that, hey, my past will not stop me, but my future education will move me forward, and I'm in to win, just like everybody else. We'll give you the last few moments. And because you've dropped so many gems, I don't know where to go with this, but I don't want to get to anything specific because I know the one-on-one consultation will take care of all of that. But hey, I just wanted to let people know, yes, we can, and give you the last few moments.
Well, I would just say definitely get out to the Housing Expo and get out, contact community development, or else on they're on their the site that we posted on Facebook. There's the little code there. Go online, get registered, and like you said, we look forward to seeing you there, trying to help you to create home ownership and then moving on to the future.
All right, appreciate that, Ron. Thank you again.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.